So, I just have one question, right? Did Zohran just think that he wasn't going to get caught? Like, that's a genuine question I've been pondering over the last several hours, right? Like, what was this guy thinking? That he was just going to skate along and lie and keep lying and continue, you know, deceiving and being deceitful and just wouldn't get caught? This guy literally claimed to be identified as black on his application to Columbia University. When his father is actually a professor there. I want you all to think about that for a second. How absolutely shameless and shameful actions like that are, right? You lied to get into a college when your father was already a professor there. That's called lying when you don't have to. And then you still don't get into that college. This guy, think of the insecurity that it takes for someone to be educated at the Bank Street School and eventually would go to Bowdoin College. But this dude went to S-tier high schools in this town and still figured, well, if I claim to be black at the school that my daddy is a professor at, then I might get in. And they still told him to pound sand. And this fucking kid wants to be the mayor of New York City. This fucking guy wants to be the mayor of New York City. And then to see that video from one of the weirdest fucking people in all of New York City, Crackhead Barney. Like, I'm genuinely, like if there's one person that I'm genuinely like afraid of, it's that bitch, right? But think of this. That girl had Mamdani's number in April. In April. And the New York Times reports on it last night in July. So this has been sitting for 3 months. This story been sitting, this fact has been floating around for 3 months. Guys, I need y'all to understand something. The white leftist transplants in this city are going to fight to the death for this guy. They are going to fight to the death for Zohran Mamdani. He is their great white hope. I'm telling you right now, he is them. He is the Nepo baby living in a $7,000 a month apartment. He is the kid with no experience who applies to a job and expects to get in because of his connections. He is that guy. And they are going to go to bat for him. You're already seeing it all over social media. You're already seeing it. You're already seeing it. And so what does, and so For me, what makes this even worse is the fact that Al Sharpton and Spike Lee, okay, two icons in the black community, two icons in New York, and two black icons in New York City in particular, went in and had a meeting with him before this story came out. So they out here selling out black folk to this dude. Again, this guy is trouble, and they are going to go to the mat for him in ways that are unheard of. You're going to see a lot of lies. You're going to continue to see excuse making for him. They're already saying, in fact, this reminds me of something that I believe it was Brianna Joy Gray who was talking about how she was from like all these other different places but lived in New York the longest, so therefore she's a New Yorker. They're already doing it by saying, well, Zohran's an African American, he's from Uganda, so I guess they're already doing it. They're already trying this stuff and they're flailing. This guy's in trouble. He was already in trouble if the New York Times of all papers, decides to report this kind of story, he's cooked. He's cooked. But anyways, I don't know what exactly to. If this, like I said last night, if this does not sink his campaign, nothing will. If this does not end him, nothing will. That's just the bottom line. 10, 15 years ago, this shit would have destroyed his entire career. This would have destroyed any opportunity he would have had to get into any elected office. But we're in a different time with different people where lying means absolutely nothing. Lying is just simply something you do to get power. And communists, and I said this before, if violence is something the communist does, as Jesse Kelly has said, if violence is something the communist is, lying is also a very close second, is also part of that biological makeup. That's a fact. But anyways, it's a very beautiful 4th of July. I hope everybody is happy, healthy. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your evening. Drink something. And I'll see y'all on Sunday. Apostate Radio coming up with Dan Bermawi. Talk to you soon.